Tomorrow could potentially be a deciding fixture for the title. Despite City being near enough out of the race at the moment, dropping points tomorrow could be catastrophic for the Reds, with Arsenal lurking only 8 points behind with a game in hand. In today's video, we have some huge news ahead of this clash, as a huge twist has emerged. We will dive into this in today's video, whilst going over all the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. But first, Arne Slot hosted his pre-match press conference on Thursday this week, as he wanted the players to have Friday off, despite it coming just 2 days before Man City vs Liverpool. Part of why Slot's reign has started so well has been the culture already instilled in the players that he hasn't had to improve. However, he has made some changes to the team's match preparations, as well as letting the players stay at home rather than in a hotel before home games. The head coach also likes the squad to have the day off 2 days before matches. In January, Slot explained, "If possible, we always prefer to have them off 3 days before a game. It's not always possible, but we try." This was also the case before Liverpool's match against Man City on December 1st. And it can't have done any harm given the Reds ran out 2-0 winners just 4 days after beating Real Madrid at Anfield. Back in October, Slot was asked on Sky Sports if he had implemented any new rules, to which he replied, "Maybe we've implemented 1 or 2, and if you ask me which ones, I don't even maybe know which they are. Like I said, there was a real good culture of players being on time, so I hate if we have to talk about fines and all these kind of things for players being too late. It's normal that you are on time." But that culture was already here. I can't come up actually with a rule that I have changed. Speaking about not sleeping in a hotel the night before Anfield fixtures, Slot added, "Maybe the only one, I don't know if it's a rule, but they were used to going into hotels a lot the day before the game. And that's what we've changed because I felt and my staff feel the best place to sleep is your own bed. It gives you the best rest possible." That's not a rule, but that's maybe one of the few things we've changed. That players are before a home game, in their own house, in their own bed, instead of being in a hotel. That's not a rule, but that did change. Now, in a huge twist ahead of our Manchester City clash, Erling Haaland is an injury doubt for Man City vs Liverpool. On Sunday, Pep Guardiola claims, but Red supporters will see it as little more than mind games. Haaland suffered a suspected knee injury during Man City's 4-0 win over Newcastle last weekend, but was named in the squad for their Champions League decider at Real Madrid. Going unused in that 3-1 loss, it was assumed that the striker was being preserved for the visit of Liverpool in the Premier League. But Guardiola explained after that game that Haaland had informed him he was not ready to feature, similar to Curtis Jones going unused in the FA Cup loss at Plymouth due to discomfort in walking. In an update during his pre-match press conference on Friday, the Man City manager claimed that Haaland is still a doubt for the weekend. "Don't know yet. Tomorrow we will know," he said when asked about the Norwegian's availability, with tests planned for Saturday. "It's better to have Erling on the pitch. Everybody is responsible for the good things and bad things for the team, but obviously with Erling, we are better." To leave the matter so late suggests Haaland would not be fit to start, but given the mind games Guardiola has employed before Liverpool games over the years, including with the fitness of his number 9, it would be no surprise if he did. One player who is ruled out for Man City, however, is John Stones, who suffered a quad injury against Real Madrid. "He is injured, a difficult one," Guardiola explained. "In the next days, we will know if he needs surgery or not." Along with Stones, Man City will be without Rodri, knee, Manuel Akanji, thigh, and Oscar Bob, leg, with few changes likely from the defeat to Real Madrid. Haaland could come back in if fit, while Kevin De Bruyne, Jack Grealish, Jeremy Doku, Matheus Nunes, and Rico Lewis were also unused substitutes and may be considered to start. Nathan Ake and Mateo Kovacic came off the bench in Madrid and could feasibly replace Stones and Ilkay Gundogan respectively. Liverpool are without Conor Bradley, hamstring, Joe Gomez, hamstring, and Tyler Morton, shoulder, for their trip to Manchester, while Arne Slot described Cody Gakpo, ankle, as a close call on Thursday. Now in other news, Arne Slot has again said Liverpool will strengthen in the summer and added that they have a very good idea about which positions will be targeted. By the time the summer market comes around, Liverpool will have only brought in one first-team player, Federico Chiesa, in the last 2 years. With departures also likely, the Reds should have a good budget for recruitment as Slot and sporting director Richard Hughes seek to acquire players more in his mould of the current side. We are looking at every single position, and we are looking at the team, Slot told media. And I think we've said this many times last season or last summer. We didn't do a lot in the summer window because we, Richard, me and all the other people involved, Just wanted to know how these players were working with me, the different manager. Now we have a very good idea about that, and I think it's clear to you that I'm not going to tell you which positions we prefer. But it is clear that we've assessed the squad. We've assessed what we think where we can improve, and that's where we try to go for in the summer. Last summer, Chiesa was the only player Liverpool brought to Merseyside, but they did also secure goalkeeper Jurgen Mamadashvili's services from next season. Looking ahead to 2025, there is also the big question of Mo Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Virgil van Dijk's contracts to sort out, the result of which could hugely inform Liverpool's transfer targets. Slot added, "It's quite an important 2 or 3 months to go, and we have some contract situations to take care of. So there's a lot of work to do in the background, but my main focus is on the current squad." While Slot still has influence in the transfer department, the restructuring of the club following Jurgen Klopp's departure took some of the responsibility away from the manager and placed more on the sporting director's team. This means the head coach will have less of a say on who is targeted by the recruitment staff, something Paul Gorst of The Echo alluded to in an interview with the Redmen TV. The journalist said, "I'm of the opinion that he, Chiesa, wasn't necessarily a Slot signing. I think it was very much Richard Hughes driving that one because of his contacts and expertise in Italian football, coming in as a cut price, opportunistic one. Expect Liverpool to be busy in the summer transfer window, and it may not just be the entrance that is crowded. Don't be surprised to see a couple of unexpected exits." Finally, Jurgen Klopp is planning a return to Liverpool in the near future, with the former manager's visit revealed by Mohamed Salah, who talks to him more than before. Klopp left Merseyside shortly after his final day in charge last summer, packing up his office in May and then his house in June after a trip back to Anfield to watch Taylor Swift. Since then, he has taken in time traveling, along with residing in his villa in Mallorca, before beginning a new job at the start of 2025. Now, head of global football for Red Bull, Klopp has begun visiting the various clubs within their stable, including trips to the United States, Brazil, and Japan. But his fondness for Liverpool remains, and, according to Salah, there are plans in the works for him to return, likely with a visit to Anfield. "Yes, more than before, we're in good contact," he told Sky Germany when asked if he still speaks with Klopp. "We've written to each other a lot in the last few months. He asked about my family, congratulated me on the games, and on reaching the final of the Carabao Cup, things like that. And he told me when he'll be coming here next," though Salah stopped short of revealing when Klopp would be back. It seems possible that this will come at some stage in the campaign. While Klopp would surely keep his distance when it comes to trophy lifts and parades, his affinity to the club and the city, along with the role he had in building Arne Slot's squad, merits a mention. That remains a way down the road, of course, with Liverpool's first chance at silverware under Slot coming against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final on March 16th. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.